The Chariot of Arjun. Mahabharata in itself is an epic. To date, I really wonder if it is a fact or a fiction. But one thing is for sure. If it is a fact, then there would be n number of things which are still either a mystery and many instances which most of us don't even know of. Recently, I was going through an article in which they discussed rare events which hardly people knew about. I will be discussing them here in this blog and in some of my future blogs as well. These events really awed me, and I'm very sure you will be surprised as well. In this blog, I would like to tell you something about the Arjun's chariot, also known as the Kapidhwaj. The chariot on which both Sri Krishna and Arjun rode was donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjun. And that was indication that this chariot was capable of conquering all directions wherever it was drawn through out of the three worlds. This was the story behind the gifting of the chariot. Once, when roaming in the Khanda Van, Arjun and Krishna met the god of fire, Agni. Agni was in great hunger and needed to burn down the entire Khanda Van to quench his hunger. Please note, the real reason why Agni wants to burn this forest is to cure his stomach ailment, and that is a different story related to King Shvetki. But Takshak, the serpent king, lived in the same forest and was a friend of Indra. So the latter brought down heavy rains to thwart Agni's plans to burn the woods. Agni requested Krishna and Arjun to help him realize his goal. The three of them then invoked Varun, the god of the oceans, who blessed Arjun with the Gandiv, the moon bow, created by Brahma. In this way, Arjun came into possession of his famous bow. Agni also gave Arjun an incandescent chariot with 4 horses yoked and bearing a flag that would one day be occupied by Hanuman. Arjun also obtained his famous conch. This is a great story in itself. We'll surely share it in my coming vlogs. With Krishna using the Sudarshan Chakra, Arjun and Krishna waged a successful battle against Indra and helped Agni burn down the entire Khanda Van, including all its demons and evil spirits. To please Agni, the fire god, Krishna arranged to offer him the Khanda forest. The Lord asked Arjun to burn down the entire forest, and then he would accompany him as his charioteer. Agni, the demigod in charge of the southeastern portion of the universe, was so satisfied with the offering that he presented Arjun with the Gandiv bow, a team of horses, a chariot, 2 inexhaustible quivers, and armor. The Lord's chariot yoked with the horses named Sabya, Sugriv, Meghapushp, and Balahak. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes the following text of the Padma Puran describing Lord Krishna's chariot horses. Sabya was green like a parrot's wings, Sugriv yellow gold, Meghapushp the color of a cloud, and Balahak whitish. Lord Hanuman meets Sri Krishna. Lord Hanuman is Chiranjeev, one who lives forever. Thus, even as various eras passed by, Hanuman was ever present. He was also told that Lord Sri Ram would reappear as Lord Krishna at a future time. Thus, Hanuman appears in the Mahabharata at two junctures. Once to quell the pride of Bhim, and the second to see Lord Krishna. We all know about the incident in which an arrogant Bhim could not budge the tail of a feeble monkey, later realizing that monkey is Lord Hanuman himself, though he tried with all his might. But the meeting of Hanuman and Arjun is quite interesting as well. In an argument between Hanuman and Arjun, Arjun claimed that he could reconstruct the bridge built by the Vanar army during Lord Sri Ram's war with Ravan using his archery skills. Hanuman laid the challenge that if Arjun could build a bridge that could withstand his weight, let alone an army's, then he would be on the flag of Arjun's chariot in the war. But should Arjun fail, it was decided that Arjun would give up his life by entering a pyre. Arjun built a bridge in a jiffy, and when Hanuman stepped on it, the whole bridge collapsed. Arjun, immensely disappointed, decided to end his life. At this moment, Lord Krishna appeared and asked Arjun to build the bridge again. After Arjun rebuilt the bridge, Lord Krishna touched the bridge and asked Hanuman to walk over it. Despite his best efforts, Hanuman could not break the bridge. At this instant, Hanuman saw Lord Sri Ram in Krishna and was overcome with emotion. He promised to aid Arjun in the war by being on the flag of Arjun's chariot, thus stabilizing and protecting it. Hanumanji's flag signifies sense control and mind control that gives victory to the higher nature over the lower nature. Arjun's chariot bursts into flames at the conclusion of the war. After the war was over, Sri Krishna asked Arjun to take down the Gandiv and get off from the chariot, as this is for his good only. Arjun did as he was directed. After this, Lord Sri Krishna abandoned the reins of the steeds and dismounted himself from the chariot as well. After Sri Krishna had dismounted from the chariot, Lord Hanuman, that topped the mantle of Arjun's vehicle, disappeared there and then. The top of the vehicle, which had been burned by Drona and Karna with their celestial weapons, the chariot with its quick pairs of steeds, yoke and shaft, fell down and reduced to ashes. Arjun was amazed with this sight, and with folded hand he asked Sri Krishna on why the chariot was being consumed by fire. Vasudeva said that chariot was consumed by diverse kinds of weapons. It was because he had sat upon it during battle that it did not fall into pieces. Previously consumed by the energy of Brahma Shastra, it has been reduced to ashes upon his abandoning it.